Oh, yeah, fish on, fish on. Again, yeah, fish on. Yeah, fish on. Oh, look at that one. Wow, wow, that one's gone. Oh, jig you've got. Oh, yeah, fish on, fish on. There you go. You watch that in action there.
Slow jigging basics today, guys. It is a basics video. It's a beginner's guide. If you're an expert, probably nothing to see here. Maybe if you're an intermediate, you might learn a few things, or you can just be nosy. Beginner's guide to slow pitch techniques. Here we go.
Slow jigging techniques then. The rods are designed to flick. They're not designed to be vertically whipped up like you would do for those in the 80s, 90s and probably early 2000s, where your big lifts up with heavy perks and stuff. It's not what they're about. Think of the tips as like an elastic band, in that when you pull it back slowly and then release it, it shoots back with force. And that's what these tips on these rods are designed to do. Just little flicks like this, and that's going to shoot your jig 6-8 foot up in the air, you know, depending on the action of the jig and the weight of the jig, clearly. All we're looking to do is just flick it. Now, how you do that can be a number of different ways. You can do one sort of hard flick. You can do a couple of short flicks. I do like to do a nice long one. Some people won't put the rod above their head. Here comes the wreck, so I'm going to focus. Some people don't like to over pitch the rod, or high stick it as they called. But actually I quite like doing a nice long slow lift and letting that lure flutter down from height. And I've had a lot of nice fish that way. But if you do get a take, you have to be really quick to reel down and take up that slack line. Otherwise you'll lose it. But yeah, short, sharp little flicks like this. And you're working the water column. This is why your coloured braid is so important. You need to know where you are on the bottom and where you are on the wreck. And if you get a fish, then you can see what colour braid you're on. And then you'll know to retrieve it to that height next go round. Now this wreck is coming in, and it is a snagger, this one. But we're still vertical. The main thing is that I'm sort of in that cone of arc there. Sort of 10 to 2 maybe. You start going too far out and down the back of the boat, so you have to do this, just bring it in and reset your drift. Reset your jig, sorry. Again, just little flicks. Followed by a long one. You do 3 or 4 short ones if you wanted to. Followed by a long one. So it all depends what you want to, you know, what you feel comfortable with. But there's none of that real jerking. You're not jerking, you're not mackerelling, you're not perking.
Quick look at the reels here then. You can see I've got it cupped in both hands here, and that's for a reason. If you get a fish on the drop, which you're going to see in the very next clip, you need to be able to react quick and fast and reel down to the line to make it tight. If you've got it in one hand, you're jigging with one hand, you're hampering yourself and you will lose fish. Your reel choice should be small enough so you can get it in both hands, and then you can react like this if this happens.
A little grab then. And again. Yep, fish on. Fish on. It went off like a over. I'm just going to finish this off. We're still okay. Wreck is right there. There is a fish. There is a fish. There you go. So going back to the technique, as it hits the bottom, just a couple of slow jigs, slow lifts, a few winds. Nice long one. Remember, sometimes fish are not always on the wreck, they're off of it. Just work it. I know that wreck's going to be coming in any minute now, so I'm not coming too high. Because when I'm not on the wreck, I like to work it quite low, just to see if there's any cod or anything sit on the bottom. Quickly do that again, because I know it's going to be coming in any second. Yeah, it's already in front of me, and the wreck hasn't quite come in yet, so I've got time just to quickly reset it, and then I'll have longer over the wreck when it does come in. If I'd have carried on there like I was in front of me, and the wreck wasn't quite in, by the time it comes in, I'd already started to creep round to the back of the boat. So if you know you've got time, and these reels are really quick, it's a 10 fathom low profile, this one, just bomb it in and just reset it again, because then you'll have more time over the target area as it was. Now I know it's coming into the purple braid now, so it's going to be on the bottom any second. And there it is. So literally just before the end of the purple braid, I know I'm on the bottom. So I'm just going to work it now. Right, it's starting to pick up now, so I'm just going to start slowly flicking it, half reel, flicking it, half reel, just working that jig up, and that's going to be darting that jig through the water there. Come up to the next colour braid. I covered it in the basics video. Is try not to get different colours like you would do normal lures. With your jigs, try and get different actions, because it's the actions that often is what will be the go, no go for jigging here, or whether you're getting fish or not, should I say. You know, colours play a part, I know they do, but if you're only going to buy a selection of jigs, try and get a multitude of different actions instead of a different colour scheme in the same jig, for example. And then you've got more to vary up there and mix up. Yeah, this is going down much better, and it's a lot more vertical, which is what I want. Ten fathom 300 low profile reel with a power handle that I've added. This is a Power 2 custom build slow jigging rod. Flicking it up down tide or up from your boat, because I always have the nose facing the direction I'm going. And then I'm just going to get it off the bottom slightly. I'm doing half cranks on the reel, and I'm just giving it a few little flicks of the tip. Thing with slow jigging is you're not perking. Back in the old days, for those that remember it, the idea is that the flick of the rod, the lift, the pitch, is what makes the jig work. Now you can vary it. You can do really short flicks like that, and you can do long, slow lifts if you fancy. But the key is knowing how your jig works. And you can do that at the side of the boat. You can do it in the marina. How your jig works is going to dictate how you're working that rod. And it's working with depth, so I'm going to drop down to the bottom again. Line was going away from me a little bit, so I've just reeled it in, just reset it again. If you're not straight up and down vertical, or you're too far up tide, down tide, or out from the boat, every time you pitch that rod, you're just taking the slack out of the line, and you're not actually affecting any action on the jig. So just start it again. I'm just back over that wreck again now. Slowly working. Well, there, if you're going to get him, it's going to be on this go. It's loaded, you're going to see him. Yeah, fish on, fish on. Oh, that's good one. Good fish. Good fish. Oh, it's slim around me a little bit. That's a good fish, guys. On the 460 gram slow pitch jig, it'd be 3.5, 4 pounds. About one.
Oh my god.
That's a better one, guys. That one went. That one went. Oh, it's going again. I'm just varying my technique here. I'm going from long, sharp pulls, where you watch the line coil back up on the water And occasionally I'll give it a few little short flicks. And the trick is to try and visualise what's going on with your lure. So depending what jig you've got... Oh yeah, fish on, there you go. Do you watch that in action there? So the trick is to try and visualise what's going on with your lure as to what the fish are seeing. And I think this is going to be another bass. Yeah, the trick's to try and... If you can work out what it's doing, you can vary your movements. And you can, as you've just seen, a change in technique can induce a take.
Well, if you were a complete beginner beforehand, you should now have a rough idea how to work that rod. Get an idea. All of those things I've shown you today, they all account for all of my slow jigging fish. I don't do much different techniques to that and what I've shown you. I hope that was useful.